So, I want you to recall yourself as a child. And back to this question. What do you want to be when you grow up? I wanted to be the world's best tennis player, just like Serena Williams, with a serve like a superwoman. And whenever I wasn't on the tennis court, I would go up in space and put my astro helmet on and exploring new galaxies, new planets, and maybe even find life on them. And when I got back home to Earth, I would swim with dolphins. And when I wasn't swimming with the dolphins, I would save the world from suffering as an awesome politician. That was my dreams. But it all started with my mother being pregnant with her first child. She went to her normal routine check to the doctors, and one day they just burst out to her, "You have to deliver the baby now." She had gotten preeclampsia, a very rare and dangerous disease where both her and the children's life were in danger. It was like this baby couldn't wait to be born, no patience whatsoever. And there I was, 1.2 kilo, premature, tiny little baby with big, bold dreams. 11 months after, the same year, my sister was born. So we were practically twins. My mother even dressed us the same way. But the only thing that was different was our haircut. And as the years went by, we also started to grow apart. I chose to focus more on my tennis career as an elite player. And she was focusing on going out, partying with older girls from school, where trouble always seemed to find her. And I saw how much my dad and mom was really struggling and trying to help her, save her, even to make sure that she was still alive. And at this time, something happened to me. I grew super fast. I was struggling with anxiety and extreme body complex. And I didn't want to bother my mom and dad with my feelings because I was the oldest daughter and I was the biggest sister, so I should take care of myself. This, of course, led to very hard feelings for me because I didn't feel that I could speak out. So I put my time on the tennis court. And before every practice, I cried in the locker room, in the bathroom, because I was so ashamed and I felt alone and I felt ugly. And before I went out on my practice almost every day, it was hard for me to focus on my practice because I was always looking up on the platform, hoping that maybe today my dad will come and see me play. And I remember that I always had another dad cheering for me. "Go Felicia, your serve is the best." He even told me that I was going to be famous for my serve one day. But what did I really care? I just wanted my dad to see me play. But he never did. So at the promising age of 12, I quit. And this was also a period of when my mom and dad got divorced. And my dad's presence became even more absent when he also chose to move back to Romania. And not long after he had moved, he started his new family. So we became like faded memories for him. And at this point, we also had a choice to make. Were we gonna continue to love him and care for him? Or should we just simply do as he did, don't care and continue with our own lives? I chose to focus on a new passion, photography, while my sister, she chose another way. She chose to join the white supremacy movement. At home, this was my room. That was Romanian music, if you wonder. While in my sister's room, pretty different, right? We handled the divorce very differently. And at this time, I just felt that I couldn't be home. Home was not a place for me to be because I just felt like an outsider. How could I even be here when I couldn't feel that I could be myself? So I spent most of my time in a photo studio where I connected with the world around me. I got the chance through the camera to see the world in another eye, but also I got the chance to see me in another eye. And I was very talented. I had this big dream now to become a fashion photographer. I was working with makeup artists, models, agencies, and this was really a new home for me. And very soon, also a very successful photographer. But something happened here where I also questioned myself, because I met like the world's most beautiful women, and they all had something in common. They were treated like they were not perfect or beautiful, just the way they were. I had clients telling me, Felicia, make her nose smaller. Felicia, can you just pull in her waist and take away her hair and her face or her pimples and everything? And it was hard. I was 17 years old. And I was doing this, so I questioned myself, am I hurting people or am I helping people? What role and responsibility do I have as a photographer, as a woman, as a young woman? And I also compared with my own body complex. I'm a photographer, but then I thought I'm a human being doing photography. And I was not happy with my choice. So something that had empowered me was now questioning me. But then in 2010, something happened. And something happened in Sweden. I was 17 years old, and we had a special moment because there was the Swedish election. And this election was when the Swedish Democrats got voted into the parliament, a right-wing nationalistic party. And I was so shocked when I saw the results. So I went into Facebook to see what my friends thought of the results. And I just couldn't handle to see people just complaining about the situation. And I just didn't want to do the same, just write something on Facebook complaining that Sweden sucks, or that we have to move away from here because now we just messed up. So I did something that I recommend and encourage you all to do more. It's to start listening more to the gut feeling, your intuition. So what did I do? I was in my room, I had my computer, I had social media, I knew some people, and I had a lot of faith and love in my heart. So, the day after, less than 24 hours, I stood at Sergels Torg and I saw this. Was anyone there? Yes.
I remember.
You remember?
Yep.
Nice to see you again. 17 years old, 10,000 people gathered at Sergels Torg the day after for a manifestation for a better Sweden, a manifestation where love, humanity, and equality were the foundations, not fear, ignorance, or hate. So overnight, I became world known, 17 years old. And this, of course, came with a lot of awards and nominations and prize. So first, I was nominated for this year's hero in Sweden by the Swedish magazine Aftonbladet. Cool, I thought. But at the same time, I was threatened to death online. And then I was invited to the parliament to get an award. But at the same time, I didn't feel that I could be home anymore. So I even moved away because I felt like an outsider in my own home. And then 4 years later, I continued with my entrepreneurship because I had this drive, I had this voice. I was not going to let it be shut down. Here I was 20-something, and I was run down, exhausted, tired, and I got sick because I was starting to defining myself more for what I did and not for who I was. Next year, this year's a young entrepreneur. Here I was getting even sicker, but I worked even harder. And then 2017, I got this award. And here I thought that my life had suddenly changed because I had searched help from the doctors with my health, and I also met my new business partner, where I felt like I was not alone anymore. I had someone I could create my dreams with. But that person turned out to be a manipulative liar who stripped me of everything. Another nomination. 2018. How ironic. I was one of the 150 super communicators. But this was also the year when I went bankrupt. I lost everything. I even lost my best friend, my top new professional camera. So I had nothing. I had nothing, I thought, but I had myself. So I started to redefine what is happiness, what is success. When other people saw me as most successful, then I saw myself as the world's biggest loser. And then I started to think about, who am I? What brings me joy? Because this quote says it so perfectly, be happy for no reason, like a child. If you're happy for a reason, you're in trouble, because that reason can be taken away from you, as it was for me. So I started to redefine success, I started to redefine myself. And it wasn't until I met the love of my life that I got the chance. He's sitting here and you know him. That I actually got the chance to see myself for who I was, because he was mirroring me in such a beautiful way. And I felt that what I was chasing all along, approval of others, was something that was within me all along. I just had to listen to her more. And I had named her my inner child. And we all have this child, not me, but you have your inner child within you. And I do believe that we have to connect more with that child. So what I have done for the past year is that I've been talking to her more, listening to her more. And one thing that you can do to reconnect with yourself and to be more happier is that you can start to see the world in the eye of a child. Take a walk in the nature. You see new shapes, forms, animals, bugs, smells. What a wonderful place of magic and wonders. You can time travel. You can go back in time. You can go to that special location that you did as a child. Or why not even eat a treat or candy that reminds you that was your favorite cereals when you were young. And you can invite that child into your life more. Because I promise, if you do, you're going to notice that something happens within you. So can we all just take a moment and close our eyes? And take a deep breath. And I want you to meet yourself as a child and invite that child to sit beside you. Is he or she happy to see you? And then I want you to make a promise that only you two will cherish in order to take care of each other's. And you can open your eyes. Do you remember the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know what I want to be? I just want to be happy. Thank you.